What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. We're in a new month, the month May, which is the month for Tears of Kingdom, Zelda Tears of Kingdom, which I'm sure most of us are going to enjoy. But I hate to ruin your Zelda party, but we're going to be talking about Donkey Kong again. It has been over 9 years now since the last Donkey Kong game released, and yeah, I know the waiting sucks. And I wouldn't say we're too out of luck at this point, but since almost every other major franchise has been on the Switch, yeah, it's just been pain and suffering, just something. I mean, I guess we'd be getting something, but we all want the real deal, a brand new title, right? But hopefully, with the recent stuff going on, there's probably a decent chance that something big for Donkey Kong is on the way. Here comes the coping, or I should say, Kong Ping. Does that make that didn't make any sense? What was I saying? Anyway, I already made a bunch of my discussions of Donkey Kong stuff happening like early in January and also technically last year, but it barely got any attention. So I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet at least, but it could be a long video. I don't know, but I want an excuse to talk about Donkey Kong in May because next month will be the time for speculating about a direct, and you know there's gonna be a bunch of talk of Donkey Kong, so it only makes sense I do this. So yeah, first thing that are recently, the Lego. Now this, I'm recording this very late in April, so if anything else happens with Donkey Kong, I can always make a community post. Anyway, moving on. Recently there was a post about the Donkey Kong Lego set that was coming this summer, and it showed not only just DK, but we also have Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Funky Kong, and Cranky Kong. Those are the Lego sets, and we're probably going to see more than just that, of course. We're going to have to see what the whole vibe is with Donkey Kong. So we're getting a whole Lego set, and also next year in 2024, we're getting a theme park. That's enough for me to think about, like, what Nintendo is actually doing, like something is coming, because why a franchise that hasn't gotten a brand new game in nearly a decade is getting all this? Like, wouldn't something like Zelda or Splatoon make more sense? Well, I think all this is building up to something. Oh yeah, I said it. This year will be the year for Kong. Okay, I can't say that specifically because I might be wrong, of course, but yeah, I just feel like if it's not this year, at the very least next year, in my opinion. Why is that the case, you may ask? Well, like I said, why are they doing all this DK? Why are they building up to Donkey Kong, doing all this? Because especially when he hasn't gotten a new game in nearly a decade. I just feel like the Lego set and the theme park are enough for me to say, like, okay, something's gotta be happening with Donkey Kong, right? A new game has to be coming at this point. So if they're doing all this Donkey Kong stuff, and of course Donkey Kong getting a major role, having a major role in the Mario movie. Like, more attention, spoilers, more attention than Luigi and Toad. I just felt like, and then also, Mario Kart DLC. I'm not sure if the Mario Kart DLC will matter, but we could possibly get the Kongs in there, and maybe a possible Donkey Kong course in there too, so that'd be nice. And also another thing that also just happened, but probably really minor, right here, but there is a Donkey Kong, very, very, very big Donkey Kong arcade at a museum, which is kind of cool. That probably doesn't mean much at all, but yeah, and there's also reports of a Donkey Kong movie. So all this DK stuff alone has got me to say that I think a new game is coming. Like, I'm not even pretending anymore. Like, it has to be coming, right? It's been nearly nine years since the last Donkey game, which is Tropical Freeze, and sorry if the video's laggy a bit, hopefully not. What else is, like, you know. Oh, I guess I never talked about the rumors of the game that happened, like, in March or whatever, late in March. Vicarious Visions, I believe that's what they're called, was apparently developing a Donkey Kong game, which I guess is involved with I guess Activision. I'm not going to that whole discussion with Activision. Y'all can look that up yourselves, but yeah, apparently they were developing a Donkey Kong, open world Donkey Kong game, but that was apparently canceled and moved over to EPD, which is like, you know, the ones involved with the Mario, Captain Toad, and all that kind of stuff, Splatoon, different groups from EPD. So if that's the case, if EPD, I don't know if any of this stuff that Vicarious Visions was involved in had to do with Donkey Kong, or like, is it gonna be involved? If EPD is the one involved, will any of the cancel stuff be in there? I mean, you never know. Nintendo has surprised us. And I feel like if it was gonna be a 2D Donkey Kong game, I feel like we would have had it announced by now. Like, 2D games don't really take much time to actually be announced, so I just think that we would have had it announced by now. But if it was a 3D Donkey Kong game, maybe that's might explain all the waiting. I'm just saying, I know I'm coping right now, but I think a 3D DK game isn't too impossible to happen at this point with all this stuff lately. And I think it will make... And I might argue that Donkey Kong for the holidays makes more sense than Mario. Yes, I said that. Listen, a Mario title can always happen. I definitely will be excited for 3D Mario if it means Rosalina can appear, but Mario gets all the attention. He always gets the games. He's had plenty of time to get a 3D platformer. Donkey Kong's last game was nearly 9 years ago, over 9 years ago, so I just feel like Donkey Kong being for the holidays would honestly just fit the bill, honestly. And if we're coming across the end of the console, if we're coming across near the end of the Switch, DK being one of the last big Switch titles wouldn't be too bad, honestly, because considering DK titles tend to release near the end of the console's lifespan, so yeah. But besides that, again, we don't know for sure what they're doing with Donkey Kong, but after all this production, all this stuff that's been going on lately... Oh, crap. Okay, yeah. But after all this stuff that's been going on with Donkey Kong, like, there has to be something coming, right? Like, so much in the Mario movie, a huge theme park expansion, and, like, you know, the Lego sets, like... something's definitely happening. I just feel like hopefully June will be his time. I think a Donkey Kong game is not impossible to happen. If it's not this year, then next year for sure. But I think a new Donkey Kong game is way more likely than people think it is. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna make a suggestive, I can't say that, on my DeviantArt. If it doesn't get announced in June. I mean it literally this time. I mean it. I hope I don't have to. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Do you guys think a brand new Donkey Kong game has a good chance of being announced in June, or at the very least, in September? Let me know in the comments below. After Zelda releases, we cope for Kong. Later, folks.